The People's Liberation Army has come to the house. Yumi did not expect Yu Qing's to stop her at the intersection. It looked as if nothing had happened to them at all in the past few days, as if they had never met. Yu Qing stopped Yumi, and before Yumi could say anything, Yu Qing spoke first. Yu Qing said, "Yumi, you do hate me?" Yumi did not expect to have Yu Qing's first to start the topic. Her mouth was even more stupid for that moment. Yumi thought, this woman's skin is thick. If someone else put pants on their face, would dare not talk like this. Yu Qing said, "The pilot will come soon for the blind date. How can I wear these clothes out?" Yumi stared at Yu Qing, thought for a moment, and said, "Even you have someone. How can I not get married?" Yu Qing obviously didn't expect Yumi to say such a thing. The words hit her in the face. Yumi herself felt it was excessive, but this woman's face was too thick, and it was not enough to get rid of her if not. Yu Qing took the small cloth bag from her armpit, wrapped it in a square scarf, and handed it to Yumi's hands. She must have prepared a lot of words, but Yumi's words made Yu Qing a little anxious after all, and momentarily forgot what to say, so her hand movement was exceptionally fast. Yu Qing said, "I wore this garment when I was on the publicity team, and I don't use it anymore." This move was greatly unexpected by Yumi. It was a bit out of character. But no matter what her intentions were, how could Yumi possibly want her things? Yumi didn't open it and pushed it back. Yu Qing said, "Yumi, as a woman, you can be high-hearted, but can't be big-headed. With the great ability of heaven, you have only one chance to get married. You have to grasp it. Don't be like me." With the great ability of heaven, you have only one chance to get married. This sentence Yumi heard into her ears. Yu Qing stuffed the package into Yumi's arms again and turned back to leave. 4 or 5 steps away, Yu Qing suddenly turned back and smiled at Yumi. Her eyes were already full of tears, glistening with a broken heart. "Don't be like me." Yumi hadn't expected Yu Qing to say such a thing. It didn't seem like the woman was angry, and she didn't expect her to have such a low opinion of herself. Yumi no longer expected this woman to have that kind of resentment coiled in her heart and almost went gentle. The turnaround of Yu Qing gave Yumi an extremely painful impression. Yumi, this time, was considered a big victory over Yu Qing, but the victory was a little tasteless. She didn't know where the problem was. Yumi stood there, looking at the cloth in her hand. Her mind kept reeling with the words of Yu Qing. "You have to take good care of it. Don't be like me." Yumi wanted to throw it away, but after all, it was what Yu Qing wore during her curtain calls, and this cloth immediately had a special allure. This is a small open-necked spring and fall sweater that tightens a little at the waist. Although Yumi's body shape was somewhat similar to that of Yu Qing's, Yumi still felt that it was a bit tight. Yumi walked over to the large mirror and startled herself. When had she ever looked so foreign and beautiful? Most of the girls in the countryside had carried heavy burdens after a long time, so their backs would be a bit curved and they would hunch, while their pelvic bones would especially loose. Yumi is different. Her body is very straight and full. The good sweater on her body is naturally extraordinarily upright. The body and fabrics snuggle up to each other, made a thoughtful and modest, and help each other's appearance. No wonder people rely on clothes and horses rely on saddles. The most thrilling is on the breasts. Convex is convex, concave is concave. Seems to undulate than not wearing clothes. Straight there like breastfeeding the whole village. Liu Fenxiang must have been exactly like that back then, standing up to all directions and awesomely beautiful. Yumi could not dispel the vision of Liu Fenxiang, but in the end, Yumi envisioned her own head. This thought was extremely dangerous. Yumi rather sadly took the sweater off and looked at it again, front and back, a few times. Wanted to throw it, but couldn't part with it. Yumi hated herself a little bit. She was ruthless in everything. Why did she go soft in front of a piece of cloth? Yumi thought, then put it there. Absolutely not on the body. Peng Guoliang, led by Secretary Peng, came to the gate of Yumi's house. Shi Guifang was standing next to the doorframe and saw Secretary Peng leading a soldier to their gate, so she was aware. She put the sunflower seeds into her pocket, made a standing appearance, and her smile was ready. Secretary Peng came to Shi Guifang's front and called out, "Sister-in-law." Peng Guoliang stepped up and stood at attention. Bang! A military salute. Shi Guifang's arms fluttered, and she invited her guest into the hall. Shi Guifang was very happy, but the incoming son-in-law's military salute made her feel that the matter was too significant. She just smiled and could not speak. Fortunately, Shi Guifang was the wife of a branch secretary and did not panic. She turned on the radio and said into the microphone, "Wang Lianfang, please come home immediately. The People's Liberation Army has come to the house. Please come back home immediately. The People's Liberation Army has come to the house." Broadcasting is also a notice. In a moment, the gate of Yumi's house immediately crowded with people, men and women, young and old, tall and short, fat and thin. What the People's Liberation Army means, needless to say. Later, Wang Lianfang came over, striding. He was buttoning the discipline button under his chin while walking. People made way. Wang Lianfang came to Secretary Peng and shook hands. Peng Guoliang stood up, stood at attention. Bang! And then a military salute. Wang Lianfang took out his cigarettes and gave one to Secretary Peng and another to Peng Guoliang. Peng Guoliang once again stood up, stood at attention. Bang! Another military salute. Peng Guoliang said, "Reporting to the chief, Peng Guoliang does not smoke." Wang Lianfang smiled and said, "Good, good." The atmosphere was quite polite, but a bit solemn, even tense. Wang Lianfang said loudly, "You're back." This sentence was actually nonsense. Peng Guoliang said, "Yes." The people gathered outside seemed to be infected as well, and they kept quiet. They rather admired Peng Guoliang's military salute, which was handsome, flowing, yet decisive.